Hi. So in this video, we will discuss about Nyaya Philosophy, Nyaya Darshan. It is essential to focus on its logical and epistemological framework. So Nyaya Philosophy referred to as the science of logic, known as Tarak Shastra, and it lays the foundation for rational inquiry and debate. So it was founded by, says Gautam Rishi, and is among the 6 classical schools of Indian philosophy. So its foundational text is Nyaya Sutra, which is attributed to Gautam Rishi, where principle of logic, reasoning and method to attain valid knowledge, which is pramana, are mentioned. It also shares some similarity with Vaisheshika, although these are two separate systems, but because of this similarity in metaphysical view, they are often studied together. So we'll start with the Nyaya philosophy first. So when we talk about this Nyaya philosophy, so there are overall, we talk about 16 category, where we start with the source of knowledge, which is pramana. The Nyaya focus on 4 type of source of knowledge, where it consider the pratyaksha, which is actually the perception, a knowledge gained through direct sensory experience. Nyaya divides perception into indriya pratyaks or yogic perception, lokik, alokik. So then it talks about anuman, inference, logical reasoning based on the prior observation. Anuman is divided into types like purvavat, samanvat, drishta and analogy. Then it comes to upamana, which is also known as comparison. So those comparison are actually the knowledge gained through the comparison or analogy. For instance, if the person learn what a lion look like through comparison with other similar kind of animal, which actually will help to identify the lion later through upamana, through comparison. Then it also talks about shabda, verbal testimony, knowledge obtained from trustworthy verbal sources, including sekar, text and reliable authorities. So in Nyaya, shabd hold importance for understanding the concept beyond sensory perception. So next it comes to prameya, which is actually objects of knowledge. So prameya are the things that can be known through pramana. So there are 12 important objects like atman, sharira, indriya, arth, buddhi, manas, pravritti, dukha, guna, dosh, prayojan, upward. So these are different type of objects for knowledge. Then it comes to sansya, the doubt or uncertainty about the nature of reality, arising when there is conflicting information. For example, seeing something from a distance and not being sure that it is a rope or a snake. So it creates a doubt, sansya. Then Nyaya teaches that resolving doubt is crucial for achieving valid knowledge. Then it comes to prayojan, purpose. So motivation for engaging in any query. In Nyaya, having a clear purpose derives meaningful investigation. For example, the purpose of studying Nyaya might be to attain knowledge, clarity, or even liberation. Then it talks about drishtant. So drishtant is actually illustration using logical argument to support a point. For example, to explain the fire produces heat, the example of burning stove is used. As it produces heat, then we can directly observe. Then siddhant, established doctrine. It refers to established principles that are widely accepted. For example, in Nyaya, the doctrine that Parmanu, atom, are a building block of matter is a siddhant also, widely acknowledged in Indian philosophy. Then it comes to Avyav, syllogism. Avyav is the logical structure of argument consisting of 5 parts in Nyaya. So pratigya, hetu, udharan, upanay, nigama. Pratigya means proposition, statement to be proved. There is a fire on the mountain, for example. Then hetu is the reason for that. Reason for statement because there is a smoke. Then udharan means supporting example. Where there is a smoke, there is fire, and as in a kitchen, it generally happens. Then it comes to upanay, so application of example to the case. And a nigaman, the final conclusion. Therefore, there is fire on the mountain. The next category is tarka, the hypothetical reasoning. So tarka is the method of hypothetical reasoning used to clarify the doubt. For example, if someone doubts whether fire is hot, the tarka would have hypothetically asked what would happen if fire were not hot, leading to the conclusion that it would contradict direct experience. Then it comes to nirnay, the conclusion, the final determination or conclusion reached after examining all evidences and resolving a doubt. For instance, after testing and reasoning, the concluding that object is indeed a snake or not a rope is a kind of conclusion. The next category comes to vad. It is a kind of debate. So vad is a constructive debate aiming to uncovering truth. Then it comes to jalp, which is disputation. Jalp is a type of debate aimed at winning rather than finding truth. For example, jalp participants use clever argument to dominate even if it means ignoring the actual truth. The next category comes to vitanda, destructive criticism. Refuting an opponent's views without establishing any position oneself. For example, one might challenge that every point made by opponent in a debate without presenting an alternative argument. Then hetva bhas, fallacy, refer to, actually that is error in reasoning. So common fallacies could be savichar, means when reason does not apply universally. It could be virudh, when the reason contradicts the statement. like sound is eternal because it's produced. So production implies it's not internal. Recognizing Hetavabhas is essential to refine argument and avoid faulty reasoning. Next category is Chal. Chal is deceitful argument. Deceitful or misleading argument. Then next category comes Jati. Futile rejoinders. It includes the futile argument that do not contribute to the progress in a debate. Then finally, the last category, Nigrasthan, the ground for defeat. So Nigrasthan referred to the point at which the debater loses due to error, such as contradiction, failure to provide evidence, or inconsistent argument. For example, if someone contradicts their own statement during a debate, it becomes Nigrasthan and they may lose the argument. So these are 16 categories in Nyaya Philosophy, provide the comprehensive framework. So now when we talk about theory of knowledge and epistemology in Nyaya, so knowledge is categorized as either Prama, the true knowledge, or Aprama, the false knowledge. So Prama is the valid knowledge and which correspond to, as earlier in first category we were discussing about, it can be validated through perception, inference, comparison, and verbal testimony. So perception is actually pratyaks. Seeing a mango tree in front of you, knowing that it's a mango tree. And then when we talk about inference, anuman, saying footprint on a wet ground and inferring that someone has walked there recently. Then it comes to comparison, recognizing a camel in a real life after having heard it compared to a horse with a hump. So then it comes to verbal testimony, like learning historical fact from a knowledgeable historian. Then the next category, aprama, invalid knowledge. So there are some mistakes in perception. So for example, we might mistaking a rope for a snake in a low light, and it could be a kind of illusion. So Nyaya identifies error in cognition, which are actually known as Khyati. So those can also be studied in detail. Different type of errors are discussed in Nyaya philosophy. Those are actually different type of Khyatis. So overall, if we talk about Nyaya philosophy, so it takes care of knowledge which is attained through rigorous method, pramana, and structured reasoning. It also talks about error, analyze to avoid false perception and misconception. Argument are structured in logical sequence, Nyaya, syllogism for clarity. Then we have debate, which is categorized to promote constructive discussion and discourage deception. So pursuit of knowledge and detachment leads to moksha, in the ultimate freedom, which is also discussed in Nyaya philosophy. So overall, Nyaya provide a complete framework for logical inquiry, ethical living, and spiritual liberation. So demonstrating its depth as a philosophical system. So one can explore more about Nyaya philosophy. So in this video, this is what we wanted to discuss. Thank you.